Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Danam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyamakrodha Tyaga Shantira Paishunam Daya Bhuteshvaloluptam Mardavam Hrira Chapalam Tejakshyamadruti Shaucham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. So we are in this Daivi Sampada. We have discussed what is Abhayam, freedom from fear, Sattva Samsuddhi, purity of mind, Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi, steadfastness in Jnana Yoga. And in the last class, we were talking about Dhanam. And we discussed how Dhanam benefits a person, especially that the mental problem. So that is called the sense of insecurity is taken care of by Dhanam. So we have discussed in details how this lobha. So lobha means greed plus miserliness. So that put together, that is called lobha. So that miserliness, why it happens, what will happen to me tomorrow. So my tomorrow is not secured. So I want secure my tomorrow by grabbing. So this miserliness that is in the background, and of course the greed also is in the forefront. So put together is called here as that lobha. And of course we discussed how this attachment or detachment happens, and also we discussed that when we do dhanam, automatically we are not a victim of our lobha. Because the sense of insecurity, how victimizes us, that also we have discussed. And of course this being a prayaschitta karma, it takes care of our papam, also prepares for us to accept death gracefully. That also we have discussed in this. And while discussing all these things, we also very carefully look at dhanam as sadhana. So that's why as in a day-to-day basis, this dhanam really takes care of the whole day very carefully. That's why whenever I do dhanam, I need to see that whether I am doing peacefully, gracefully, or some type of regret, or I look back. That's why we say very nicely, Satesu jayate suraha, sahasresu cha panditaha, bhakta satasahasresu, data bhavati nava. It's a beautiful way to say that Satesu jayate suraha, a courageous person. If you see a courageous person, you can see find in 100. Whereas sahasresu cha panditaha, so among in 1,000 person, so you will find a scholar, a scholarly person, because it's rare, so in 1,000 people. Whereas bhakta satasahasresu, so satasahasresu means that more than, you will find out a bhakta satasahasresu 100,000, satasahasresu 100,000. So that means you will find out what a Bhakta means a teacher, the one who is well versed in the scripture. Whereas data bhavati ba no, where to find out a data is not a joke. Data means a giver. So that's why we have many things to talk. Even if Karna in Mahabharata had many things, but he was called Dani. because he was being giving everything the way he was giving, so he is being, highly respected. There are many occasions. In fact, Pujya Swamiji used to say this point very nicely. So, in our Veda, there is injunction that Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Adeyam. So, when you are giving, it should be with Shraddha. If there is no Shraddha, don't give. So this is the Veda's injunction. But Pujya Swamiji will interpret little carefully and say, look, Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Api Deyam. Even though there is no Shraddha, give it. Because when you give, then only slowly Shraddha will come. Or else it will never happen. However, so in short, Lord Krishna used here very carefully that what is this the role of Dhanam. So after Dhanam, the next one is called Dama. So Dama means judicious way of controlling sense organs. So Indriya Nigraha Ityartha. So when I am using the word judicious way, so judicious sense control or judicious way sense control. Why I am using this is judicious word very carefully? Because as you know, this sense control sometimes is a suppression. I control my senses. And anytime I suppression of any sense organs, please understand, is an oppression. So when you oppress, that oppression will lead to depression. Suppression is an oppression. Oppression will lead to depression. So we don't encourage that at home. That's why here you have to understand what is this between suppression and what is called as Indriya Nigraha. So judicious way of controlling sense organs. So you can see very carefully, anywhere you suppress, definitely it will lead to mental problem. So the health, especially mental health, will not be good at all. But here we do Indriya Nigraha not to affect the mental health, but to see the mental growth. So there is a big difference. That's why we use Indriya Nigraha means Indriya Jayaha. From there I am getting the word. Indriya Nigraha means Indriya Jayaha, mastery over sense organs. So now it may ask why and how you want to differentiate between these two. It's very simple. You can see, sometimes you decide because of others. So when you control because of others, society says this thing, that is said this thing, this is this, that is that. So that is called controlling senses, that is called suppression. Whereas mastery over means, Indriya Jaya means, you are convinced that this is good for my spiritual growth. So with your conviction, you start regulating, you start monitoring your sense organs. And that is what is called as Indriya Jaya. That only helps for what? For mental growth. Or else, in the name of Indriya Jaya, there will be mental problem. That's why sometimes in the ashrams we see all the mental cases. So they think, and for few times, few years, it will be good. That's why you can see anybody especially comes to yoga in West, first sometime they will be perfectly okay. After that, all mental cases will come up. Then you say, oh, Swamiji, that's why I'm not interested. That's why I am, hey, you are another cretin or a cretina, okay? Don't talk that, okay? You are neither good either. So you have to be very careful in this regard. Never ever try to take credit, okay, for anything. Because the moment you try to take credit, that means seriously something wrong with you. This is the truth, this is the reality. Because who are you to take credit for what? It doesn't work in life. That's why whenever you have taken credit, after that, are you not being beaten up? Just try to see, this is what the life is. However, let us not get into. That's why, for that sake, after this Dama follows Yajna. So which is very important for us. So Yajna means, general translation is that performing rituals, worshipping, used to worship. So when we say, so this is a practice of worship. As you know, very carefully we have said that worshipping means what? Relating with Ishvara. So when we say relating with Ishvara, there are two types of yajna. So two types of worship. One we call as regular ceremonial worship. That generally we do in our homes, sometimes in the temple or in different occasions, where we invoke God. Or if already God is there in the temple all the time, so we try to relate in our way, let us say. So sometimes I look at, God as the giver, God as a complaint box. So don't ask me more than this, okay? If I tell. So God also as a, a lottery giver, okay? Oh God, if you and also we give bribe also, okay? Oh God means I'll break 100 coconuts, okay, with you. I'll light the lamp continuously. I'll do this, I'll do that. I'll build a temple for you also, because as though God doesn't have anything, okay, needs your temple to get into. If He needs a temple from you, and you are asking more, okay, you understand? So if I get 1 million, then I'll give you something, long back, no story, nothing has come. Let me share one small story, okay? How to, okay, first let me tell a regular story, one Danam, then I'll come to later on, other one. This is a very popular story. So there was a businessman. So he used to go to other countries to sell his products, and of course in a ship. And while coming back with all his wealth, ship was about to sink because of cyclone. And the captain said, look, this is the time. It is out of my hand. You all need to pray God. Only God can save us, nothing else. So each one started praying. This person also started praying, oh God, if I die, it has no value, because everything is gone. And especially in Mumbai, this is Mumbai, I have a beautiful, independent house, which will cost at least minimum, some 100 million rupees, okay? I'm not going much more, okay? I'm reducing. So I will sell the house and all the money I'll deposit in your hundi, that too in Vinayaka temple in Mumbai. Chapter is closed. Please God, take care of it. So to his surprise, the cyclone slowly reduced and everybody was safe, and he came. The moment he landed, now what to do? Already he has promised God that he will sell, because in his mind it was there to sell, okay? That was also there, okay? So now what to do? But I have promised, or else things will go wrong. what to do. And I can add one more thing. So again, some other problem came, he forgot, some other problem came, his health became very serious and he went to astrologer. Astrologer said, look, you had promised something mentally to the God, so you have not taken care, better take care. Then he woke up again. Oh, I have to sell now, there is no choice. Then what happens? But see, this 100 million, I cannot give it away, it's too much. Now he came up with a new plan. So he put one advertisement, look. So there is a house for sale along with a pet cat. So whoever wants to buy the house, they have to buy the pet cat. So it's a very funny advertisement, but people started coming. What? So what is that? Say, look, the house cost is just, let us say, few thousands. But he is very careful, okay? So few thousand is the house cost, whereas cat is rest. So 99.99 is cat cost, but just few thousand is the house cost. But remember, unless you buy the cat, you cannot buy the house. People said, what is this funny rule? But okay, whatever, something. Then one person bought. Then what did he do? Now 99.99 keeps with him because he had promised to what? Give only the house money. Now whatever house money he got, so he went and put in the hundi of God. So there are different means, different ways. Let us not get into. So here Yajna means relating with Ishvara. So which is in external form, the way you relate, whatever way, that's not a point. But why do we relate Ishvara? In our day-to-day life, whatever way, from first forms of worship, we try to go to second forms of worship. So what is the second forms of worship? So second forms of worship is what? That looking at work as worship. Swamiji, that's why I work all the time. Hey, you work as worship or you work to satisfy your ego or to take care of your ego or to prove? There is a big difference. So doing everything as yajna. That's why we look at everything as yajna. We have discussed earlier how yajna takes place. It's a very simple thing. Many people asked the question recently, the boys were asking. We, especially in India, we don't consider, generally, we don't consider taking shower or bath in bathroom as snanam is auspicious. I am using very carefully. Taking bath or shower in bathroom is not auspicious at all. We take it very carefully and clearly. Now question may arise, why you are so adamant? Why are you talking this? Because the rule is very simple. It is not that you are taking bath in the bucket inside the bathroom or outside the bathroom. That is not the point. Point is here why we don't take it seriously. Because when you do snanam, there are rules we have. The number one rule is you are not supposed to have snanam without vastram, without cloth. Or even if one vastram, one towel, not allowed. Snanam is supposed to be done always with minimum 2 vastras. The body must have 2 clothes. There are rules we have very careful. This is called yajna. While having food, you cannot have food with one vastra, one cloth, not allowed. You cannot do namaskaram with one vastra, nor you can receive namaskaram in one vastra. That's why upper cloth for men is must. Of course, woman has the dress. So there are restrictions we have very clearly, carefully. Whereas in the bathroom, what happens? No cloth or one cloth or God knows what. That's why that is not acceptable at all. There you clean your physical body, but mind is not cleaned. The mental cleanness, the astral cleanness never takes place. You need to understand this aspect very carefully. So looking at yajna, this is the small thing, can you see this point? You go for shower with one cloth or no cloth. But whereas when you go for shower with two cloths, with sankalpa, why you want to take shower? What is the purpose of your shower? I should not stink. You understand? Or to release the stress. Whole day I worked. So I want to release my stress. I want a hot shower. Cretina. You understand? So that means you are more interested to take care of your physical body and of course sometimes your pranic, pranamaya kosha. Maybe once in a while manomaya kosha. What about your vijnanamaya kosha? So that's why one has to be very careful that everything is what? As yajna. So when you start looking at everything as yajna, while going to bed also is yajna. Anything and everything that you do is yajna. No, Swamiji, actually what I like, whatever work I like, means wherever my ego is being taken care, that is worship for me. You understand? Other than that, I don't care. Hey, don't tell a lie to yourself at least. Don't cheat yourself. That's why emotionally you'll be a volatile person. And once you become emotionally volatile person, nobody will like to relate with you either. This is what happens now, present generation. Great talent, great success, everything is great, but nobody would like to relate. And if they at all want to relate with what you have, not who you are. That's why here it says, yajna, do the first yajna to jump to second yajna. And remember, even if you are in second yajna, first yajna you have to do it. There is no choice. Because first type of yajna, that in the form of puja, in the form of worship, all these things, because it takes care of what? Your atmosphere. It creates a protection. No, Swamiji, I am not a religious. I understood Vedanta. I don't want to relate with God and all these things. Hey, puja, flower, this, that, shit, all these things. Hey, it's not my job. It's a beginner, ordinary people job. So, what sort of job you have to do? No, I only do meditation. I just only dwell upon the teaching. Thank you. Nothing wrong in it. You can continue, but don't tell anybody, okay? So that if you tell others, people will start laughing at. Here, you need to do the first one all the time to protect yourself. Protect the atmosphere. Protect others. That's why in the ashram, we have temples. Because the puja place protects the place, protects the Swami, protects others also. Whoever comes, they relate easily, comfortably. That's why we say very carefully, any common place, any public place, this is to be done very carefully. So let us not get into too much. So that's why, in short, what I am trying to say is, once I look at everything is the form of worship, yajna, then I look at everything as prasada. That prasada buddhi, like whatever comes from the God, I accept as prasad. I don't complain. So here also, when I look at everything, every karma is what? Is yajna. Now karma phalam becomes what? Prasada. So that means whatever happens to me, whatever comes in my life, I accept gracefully. That's why yajna here is called as what? As a daivi sampat. That's why we say what? Yadad karma karoti tattat akhilam sambho tad aradhanam. Sometimes you say, kayena vacha manasendriya vaha buddhyatmana va prakrute swaha. Same thing. Because anything that I do, this is the second form of ritual. That everything is God, so that I accept anything and everything. Okay? If it is that, once this external and internal both are done, then comes the next one. So the next is called Swadhyaya. So Swadhyaya means, generally, no, some people say, Swadhyaya means, this is called yoga people, okay? Studying one's own self. So how to study one's own self? Sit down, close your eyes and ask, who am I? Okay? Koham, koham, soham. Then finally, murkhoham, okay? Gadhoham. So I am a donkey, okay? I am a fool, okay? I am a depressed person, I am a this, I am that. Only that will come. And sometimes once in a while step up, and that's wow, mind is calm. Shantoham. I am Shanta, peaceful person. You understand? Remember, Swadhyaya does not mean studying of one's own self. No. So Swadhyaya technically means the recitation of one's own branch of Veda. So in short, you can say scriptural study. So when we say scriptural study, so it is divided into two parts. So one is called Sabda Pradhana, other one is called Artha Pradhana. So you can say Shabda Abruti, then Artha Abruti. So you start reciting. The first stage is you keep reciting with only sounds. For example, Lalita Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama, because all these things comes under. In fact, under Swadhyaya comes automatically Sandhya Vandanam. Because in Sandhya Vandanam, all the chantings are involved. Your own Veda is involved. And interestingly, you know, so in the earlier days, how many times of Sandhya Vandana was there? 3. So from 3, it got reduced to 2. Madhyanikam, I cannot do it. Middle one, I cannot do it because I am in the office, okay? So morning I can do, evening I can do. From 2, it got reduced to 1 because I come back in the night, I don't know when I come back, okay? So 3 to 2, 2 to 1. Nowadays what? That got reduced to only Gayatri. If I can do Gayatri 108 times, that's more than sufficient. Now people started asking, is it necessary to do Gayatri? I can sit in my reclined chair and I can do Gayatri. I have seen people doing it, okay? Anyway, let me not get into too much. Here, when it says Swadhyaya, first one is called Sabda Pradhana. So Sabda Pradhana means where sound is predominant. So you give emphasis to the sound. I have been observing also, many of you. For so long we are doing this Swadhyaya of Guru Stotram, still things are not coming properly. So wherever you have picked up wrongly, that continues. The simple Guru Stotram, very unfortunate. However, Shabda Pradhana, where you give importance to the sound and you rectify the sound, because Shabda is Brahma. Now through this recitation, you create a kavacham. Kavacham means protection in and around you. Especially when you have any psychological problem. Whenever your mind is in a loop, only Swadhyaya, a Parayana, a Sabda Pradhana Parayana helps you. Because there, when you do the puja or anything, mind will not be there at all. It will not work. There, when Sabda Pradhana loudly you chant, let us say Vishnu Sahasranam or Lalita Sahasranama, nothing will remember, nothing will know. But because word is clear, there is clarity with words. So there, whether you like it or not, like kashta, if you say, that pronunciation will not work. So each word is a phonetic based. So that changes the lot of energy and your mind setup. That's why we say Shabda Pradhana Parayana is important. And without Shabda Pradhana, no, I chant without loud voice. Please don't again cheat yourself. Parayana means it should be Shabda Pradhana. Then after Shabda Pradhana, slowly it becomes Artha Pradhana. Artha means meaning. So while chanting, you start seeing the meaning of the word. So while chanting, when you start seeing the meaning, means the word continues. Not that word you shallow, no. So when the word continues, the sound is proper, phonetic is proper. At the same time, you close your eyes, you keep visualizing, or you keep your eyes open, you are dwelling upon the meaning of the sound. And if you observe this, called Swadhyaya, Swadhyaya takes care of your inner being. It literally protects you with reference to all sort of obstacles that you come across where you will be able to lose yourself. That's why we say, whoever does parayana regularly, I'm not telling you jokes, the person will be always protected. There is no doubt in it. That's why we say astrologically, if anybody has any problem, what we say, straight away we say, do this kavacham, do that kavacham, or do this parayana, do that. If nothing works, Hanuman Chalisa, continue. If you cannot do proper parayana, at least do this Hanuman Chalisa, which is very easy. This is how we say, we make it very clear that you must do Sabda Pradhana Parayana. Then slowly get into Artha Pradhana, absolutely no problem. That's why this becomes also a Daivi Sampat, means my interest for Parayana. So the person who develop that interest, like in ashrams, the moment Parayana comes, many people will drop, okay? But prasada time, food time, everybody will be available. Then the next one is called tapaha. So tapas means the religious discipline. What is all about, we'll say. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnhat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.